everyone, Once Bitten here at the Battle Report. So this is Game 2 of the U.S. Masters Tournament 2015, my Bretonnian army versus a Warriors of Chaos army. This is, I think, one of the builds that I see quite a bit in our meta, and that is having a lot of flying characters with 3-up ward saves, kind of dictating movement around the table and being difficult to kill. So yeah, I was interested how my Bretonnians were going to deal with that. So let's go over his list. First of all, let's go over his army. This thing is freaking beautiful. I took this picture the day before because I just saw it sitting out there. I'm like, wow. The picture doesn't do it justice. Let me go down one. So he actually doesn't use this in his army list. I think he brings it in case he can use it like as a demon prince or something weird. I don't know. But what a fantastic conversion. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, so I always say if I'm going to get curb stomped by an army, if it's painted this well, then you know what, I can deal with it. So yeah, the board looks like that. Let's go through his list. Here on the right, he's got 3 characters on the right. I'll go over the kits in just a second. He's got a unit of 10 Marauder, or I think 9 Marauder Horsemen with a standard and flails. And so let's see, on the far right, he's got his Lord that is not a general, flying around a disc with a 3-up ward save, and other stuff just to make him nasty. Then he's got his General flying around with a 3-up ward save, and other stuff to make him nasty. Then he's got a level 2 Lord of Shadow on a Barded Steed, which my assumption is he uses him with his fast cav, and the only reason I could think why he didn't deploy with his fast cav was so that the fast cav could vanguard if he wanted to. Anyway, to the left of that, he's got a unit of Skull Crushers. Behind him, a unit of Forsaken. Forsaken you just don't see unless it's Swedish comp or something. Then he's got just this beautiful War Shrine, and behind it, it's kind of weird, you can't really see it very well, but he has an Exalted Hero BSB. It's got a big Canadian flag. It's pretty awesome. And he's got a 4-up ward save and other stuff to make him pretty good. Then there's another unit of Skull Crushers. I said it the first time I said 4 Skull Crushers. I meant to say 3 Skull Crushers. And then he's got 2 more units of 5 Marauder Horsemen with flails and banners over here. So, you know, the army, its punch comes in, what, 3 fighty characters and 2 small units of Skull Crushers. So what it's lacking is anything to deal with ranks. And so I don't know how I'm going to deal with his mobility, but I actually like the matchup otherwise because, you know, he can do wounds, but Bretonnians can shrug off wounds pretty well with the armor save and ward saves and then ranks and just static combat res. So I did not want his fast cav around my flanks, so I'm protecting my flanks with Pegasus Knights. There's a Trebuchet. Here's a small unit of Knights Errant. Normally I would have my Prophetess in with them. I just don't remember why I decided not to put her there this game. I don't expect the Knights Errant to pull a lot of weight this game, but if they can help clear out the chaff, I would be happy enough with that. So if you look on the right, I've got Peg Knights over there. So Peg Knights are certainly guarding my flank. And if he puts any Marauder units over there, I think the Peg Knights can handle him. If he puts his Marauder units anywhere in the center of the table, I want my Bowmen to be able to kill him. So that's kind of my plan of dealing with his chaff. Otherwise, the most I can hope for is to get matchups where he doesn't gang up on me. You know, so you know, any frontal charge I'm okay with. If he gets behind my line of sight and can start charging the flank, that's where I get in trouble. So on the left, I've got my far-reaching unit, Banner Swiftness with the Virtue of Impetuous Knight in there. I also have my BSB and my Prophetess. I still don't remember why I have her in there, but that's okay. I would love to, if I can get a charge off on a Skull Crusher unit, I should be able just to blow by him. The problem is I'm what, 5 ranks deep, so if I overrun, I'm still probably going to be a line of sight of whatever's there. So I have to be careful about that. You can see a Trebuchet in the back middle. Then I've got another unit of Knights of the Realm. This one has my Paladin with the Ruby Ring. That's good for Marauder Fast Cav. Then I've got my General. He can handle one of those Lord level characters if he's in combat with a full bus of Knights providing static combat res, because he can shrug off some wounds, threaten Heroic Killing Blow, and otherwise hold things up, hopefully for the Lord to fail his break test. Otherwise, I think it's a psychological threat that he poses that helps me control the movement phase a little bit. In this tournament, hills block line of sight completely, so I'm also using that hill on the right to protect him from getting outside my line of sight. So he would have to get all the way on the other side of that hill or on top of it to threaten my flanks, and I think I can protect that pretty well. So warriors choose to go first. They move up like that. That is not. No, they don't. That is vanguard movements. So he vanguards up a little bit. I'm happy enough with how that turned out. And they choose to go first, and it goes like that. Yeah, so it's not a major deal, but one mistake I made, and I do this all the darn time, is that my knight bus on the right is facing directly ahead, and there's no great reason for that. If they were angled just a little bit to the right, they could see past the hill and could charge his fast cav unit. It never really occurred to me that the fast cav unit on the right of this picture would be joined by one of his characters. So he moved the fast cav, then he flew the character up and put him in there with him. So now my Pegasus knights cannot handle that. If I charge that, I lose. My general can't see because the hill is in the way, and my knights can't see because they're facing directly forward. So I say it all the time. It's just, I need to get better at it. It's just, I think it's difficult to think through every possibility like that. So yeah, that's a clever move on the right. It certainly protects his unit of marauders from my Peg Knights, but that's okay. I told myself I'd be patient, so I'm just going to move the Peg Knights around. I think he has a hard time. He can't see me just for the same reason my general can't see him. So if once the Peg Knights get out of the way, he can't charge anything. So he can continue to try to dance, but that's it. And here on the left, yeah, smart move this fast cav. He puts him right up in my face. If I charge him, he'll take it and will almost certainly die or break. And you know, then he can countercharge with the Skull Crushers. One thing I didn't consider, I came up with a plan of how to deal with this, but what I didn't consider was if I charge them with the lance and don't kill them all but break them, they likely would land right in front of the Skull Crushers and thus protect me from a charge for probably 2 turns. But the danger of that is there's only 5 wounds there, and if I charge in with that huge block of knights, I very well may kill 5. The Skull Crushers are free to charge. So we go to Bretonnia turn 1, and I do this. So I do a triple combo charge on the fast cav on the left. I'll talk through that in just a minute. On the right, I angle the knights so that he still can't see me with his units to the right, and in order to be able to see me, he'll have to put himself in a position where I can see him. So yeah, and my general is just south of this picture. He's making sure that his Flying Lord character doesn't fly out of line of sight of my, or if he does fly out of line of sight of my block of knights, that I can charge with my general, and I may or may not kill him, but I should be able to hold him up for my my knights to be able to charge him soon. So I'm happy enough with that. There he is. Actually, there's my general right there. He wasn't south of the picture. He's over here. Yeah, now that I look at this, I'm thinking, you know, he still could have taken his Lord character in there and flown him over the hill and just gotten out of my line of sight. I have got to get better at this, guys. I've really got to get better. He didn't do that, but he could have and should have. So here's on the left. I'm almost certainly going to wipe him out to a man, and then my thinking is I'm just going to take the archers and reform them where they're facing, keep them like they are now, but I'd probably just face the Skull Crushers, but basically being too wide, so he can't charge past them. So yeah, this is what I meant. So after combat, I do this. I thought it was brilliant. Not brilliant. I thought it was clever at the time. So if he charges my bowman, I stick, and then he hits him, he'll beat him into overrun, and then I get a flank charge with my knights. If he charges my knights errant, I will flee, and that's why I put them in that formation, so that they don't go off the board quite so easily and are not caught quite so easily. And then if he redirects to my bowman, I will flee, and then I can countercharge with my bus. What I didn't see was that the unit of Skull Crushers in the top right of this picture can I'm so blind. They have an easy charge into the bowman. So he doesn't have to worry about the unit of skull crushers that I was thinking about. He can just charge the other one in, and they will kill the bowman and then overrun into my knight bus. Oops. Yeah, so we go to Warriors cast turn 2. So he did that, and I fled with my bowman because at that point, what's the point? And then he took his other unit of skull crushers and charged the front of my battle standard bearers unit. Now, I am worried about losing my BSB, although he does have a 1-up rerollable. He's fairly resilient. I've got a paladin in there that can give up some points, but for the most part, I'm going to be steadfast for a long, long time. He charged a unit of marauders into the face of my knight errant unit. They are strength 5 on the turn they charge, so if he does enough wounds, he can make it to where I'm not steadfast. But all I have to do is kill one of his guys, and I'm going to be steadfast no matter what. And I think over the long haul, I think I win that. So I wasn't concerned about that. I'm certainly concerned about the Skull Crushers charging my BSB, but really I'm just worried about losing my BSB, because as long as he's alive, that unit is stubborn 8 rerollable, and I'm okay. If you look at the top right, he took his Fighty Lord character out of the fast cav and pulled him back towards the middle. Yeah, and he's got his characters he took his spellcaster, joined a unit of skull crushers. So if you look in the middle, you see his BSB and his general, and if you look at the right top, you see his other Fighty Lord character. He took pressure off when I really think he should have put more pressure. I'm telling you that the Fighty Lord character on the right should have flown over the hill, faced the flank of my knights, and not necessarily charge the knights solo next turn, because I think overall I win that just through combat res, but he'd be behind my lines and would cause me endless grief. So I think he made a mistake there. Over here on the right, he took his 9-man Marauder unit, put it in front of my Peg Knights. I think what he was thinking was he didn't want me. He put him over here so my general couldn't charge him. And if I charge him, he's strength 5 the first round of combat. So he has 9 strength 5 attacks before I get to strike. So he actually has a decent chance of winning that combat. I'll have a charge, he'll have a banner. So by default, he'll win with a musician. So it comes down to wounds, and that certainly is not a guaranteed proposition for me. Over here, there's the charges he makes. And I do have harmonic convergence up on my BSB's unit. I put it during my magic phase, kind of like a just-in-case scenario, and I'm really glad I did. Rerolling ones is very helpful. And so Skull Crushers that had been joined by the Sorcerer, when they failed to charge, let's see. Yeah, they failed to charge, so they're just kind of sitting there, not in the, I mean, it's not awful position, but it's not fantastic either. I'm liking how instead of pushing forward on me, he's kind of staying back. It's allowing me to use my knight buses to exert pressure over large parts of the board. And then on the left, he's charged me, but it also keeps other things from charging at the same time. So when all is said and done, his Skull Crushers did 1 wound to my unit. That's it. I won through static combat res, but he's stuck. So he's no longer frenzied. I've got that going for me. If he would have broken, that would have been just fantastic. If you look on the left, his Marauders did, I think, 1 wound to my Knights Errant. I think I did 1 wound back, and we all stuck around there. So on my turn, the Peg Knights countercharge the flank of the Marauder unit, so that should be easy points. I'm confident about the Skull Crusher combat now, because, well, I don't know why I say that, though. I mean, he's still pretty high strength, but I'm just feeling confident about it. And on the far right, the Pegs say, you know what, bring it. They went ahead and charged the Marauders. So during the magic phase, I decided to get Ice Shard Blizzard off on him. It makes it -1 to hit, which makes it easier for me to survive. And more importantly, he's -1 leadership. Now, he does have his general back there, giving him leadership 9. I don't know how many wounds he did to me. It wasn't much. He hasn't wounded either of my paladins yet, and he can attack rank and file. I think, by the way, last turn when I said he only did 1 wound, it's because he couldn't get any through on my paladins, and he killed my champion, and any overkill just didn't matter. But now I can kill rank and file. I win combat, but even with Ice Shard Blizzard, he sticks, darn it. The Marauders on the left easily die. I reform my Knights Errant into ranks. If he charges his general in there, I don't love it, but at least I'll be steadfast. If he charges my Peg Knights, I don't know what I'm going to do, because if I flee, I think I may not get away, and if I stay, I think he kills me. So we go to Warriors cast turn 3. He Oh, what did he do? Somebody charged my peg knights, and I ran like a sissy. They wanted nothing to do with that. They rolled really high and got away. Um, the reason I'm wondering, oh, okay, so he charged him with the Skull Crusher unit. Now that was hugely good for me because um, having what I liked about that was if he charged with his general, I'd flee again, I'd get away from everything. So he didn't do that, but that means that certainly his Skull Crusher is going to fail, and they set up a juicy, juicy countercharge with a Night Bus into their flank, and the only thing I'm going to hit is his Sorcerer. The Skull Crushers can't even swing at me, so yeah, that was very nice. I would almost, if I were him, have taken that his Flying Lord in the top right and parked him in front of that unit so I'd have to charge the Lord instead of them. I would still do it, and I would still have a pretty decent chance of winning that through combat res. And if I did, he'd be doubly screwed because I would kill the Lord and overrun into the unit. But I don't know. It's something I would at least consider because right now his Sorcerer and Skull Crushers are really, really vulnerable. He takes his general, flies him behind my line of sight. I've been trying to avoid that, but there's only so much he can do. He parks his BSB in front of my Knights Errant as if he doesn't care, which he shouldn't. My Knights Errant aren't going to do anything to that BSB. Yeah, there's that. So this Trebuchet right here can't shoot at him, but my other one can. And even with a 3-up ward, I think I still like the idea. This is risky because I could scatter off and hit my own troops. And, you know, all I can hope for is that it hits him and he has a 3-up ward. But you know what? You never know. And I don't like him being behind my line, so that is where I'm going to shoot with my leftmost Trebuchet. There we go. Yeah, the Skull Crushers charged my Peg Knights. I fled. Then they redirected to my Knights Errant. They were farther away. I was slightly less worried about them making it, and he failed it, so that was very nice. Yeah, there's the flank charge I'm looking at. Just juicy. And, yeah, so after combat, everybody sticks around. He's now done 1 wound to my Paladin that's not my BSB. I've got all kind of buffs up there. We go to Bretonnia turn 3. The Knights Errant charge the flank of the Skull Crushers. So I'm thinking, I know he has leadership and a reroll nearby, but oh my gosh, he's got to have so much combat res against him. These guys have got to break this turn. My other Knight unit charges the flank of Skull Crushers, and they're only touching his Sorcerer, which I love. My General charges the War Shrine, which with a 3-up ward is actually, even with Heroic Killing Blow, it's hard to kill it necessarily. But with a 2-up rerollable armor save, I'm not really afraid of taking wounds from the War Shrine. So for now, I think, I've got probably 3 rounds of combat to try to get that Heroic Killing Blow off. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, and then just need to roll 6s, and then followed up with him rolling a 1 or a 2. So not highly likely, but I like my odds there. Yeah, here are the charges. And if you remember, if you saw my previous game, I was saying that, hey, at this point we knew we weren't going to get 6 turns in, and that was totally wrong. My first game we got 6 turns in, not a problem. This is the game that at this point we knew we probably were not going to be able to finish it. We'd be lucky to get 5 turns. So on the right, remember my Peg Knights charged his 9-man unit of Marauders. I think it took... I charged in, and I think everybody stuck. And then we fought the next round of combat. I won, but didn't catch him. So on Bretonnia turn 3, I charged him. He had to flee. I caught him and then reformed. So, and there's a nice blurry picture for your entertainment. And then I do it. I'm not even sure this is a smart decision, but he doesn't have any targets on the board that are not near my Knight buses. So I'm like, you know what, this might scatter off and hit my Knights, but it might scatter off into his Skull Crushers, whatever. And I score a direct hit on his General, and I wound him, and he needs a 3-up ward save, and he rolls a 1 or a 2, and I kill him. That's just dumb luck. And after combat, are you kidding me? I can't break these stupid Skull Crushers. All they have for combat res is a banner. I've got like 3 ranks, 2 banners, a flank, a charge, and he's not doing wounds to me. Like, my Paladins are both alive right there. He only has 1 guy that can even attack the unit. Yeah, so this unit is it's killing me. It's like, now it breaks. Now his BSB can charge the flank of the Knight Errant unit, and that's not going to help things. Over here, yeah, the General goes into the War Shrine, and it's just a big pillow fight. Yeah, we kill a Sorcerer. We beat the Skull Crushers through combat res and run him down. So that's very, very nice. Now his Forsaken are kind of screwed because, you know, he can't really get out of my charge arc. I'm going to be able to charge him no matter what. So he could either charge me, or he could set up in the woods, force me to take dangerous terrain tests, and know that I won't be steadfast, and should I ever lose. But, I mean, 5 Forsaken are somewhat killy, but they're not that good. So, Warriors Chaos turn 5, his Battle Standard Bearer charges to flank my Knight's Errant unit. His other fighty Lord character flies up just in the middle of the board, almost daring my trebuchets to pick him off. He's like, I've done it once, I'll do it again. So, but anyway, yeah, he's flying him up. He had a lot of options. He could have faced the flank of my general and gone in there to try to see if he can kill my general before my general kills him. Where with the 3-up ward save, it's you know, it always poses the threat to him, but it's much more likely that he would win that. His Forsaken decided to charge my Night Bus. Yeah, so I'm not really worried about that. And this one I am worried about. So I'll sacrifice the champion and the Knight Errant unit this round of combat, and so he'll have a charge, and he'll negate my. We both have flanks, so that'll negate, and he's only going to get, you know, however many wounds he can do to that one guy, and after that, that's just rough. I mean, I haven't been breaking these Skull Crushers all game, and now, you know, they have support. Let's see, after combat, yeah, the general still hasn't killed his War Shrine. The Forsaken can't do enough to the Knight unit. There was 1 wound on my Paladin, so we broke him in combat. We did not run him down, but that's fine because this is my opponent's turn. But when we hit the woods, my Paladin failed his dangerous terrain test and died. So, darn it. And over here, yeah, so he kills my champion. Otherwise, we all just kind of dink at each other. All of us are having problems getting past armor saves and my ward saves. Of course, I've got bubble harmonic convergence up, so you know that's that's helping me. And we all stick around. Bretonnia turn 4. You know, what else can I do? My knights at the very top middle charges Forsaken just to get the points. My Peg Knights fly up because why not? They might charge the War Altar on my next turn just to get some static combat res and just beat that thing that way. At the bottom, there's nothing for me to do. We're just fighting. And so we Ice Shard these guys again, and they stick again. But look at the top. His BSB did 1 wound is all. He should do better. But I was rerolling ones. That's all I'm going to say about it. He should have done better. But the Skull Crushers refused to break, and they were Ice Sharded. But the BSB, who's not Ice Sharded, decided he wanted none of this and broke from combat, and of course died. That was huge. That throws the advantage back my way. But these Skull Crushers might as well be unbreakable, for crying out loud. So we go to his next turn, and now, boom, he does it again. Now he charges his fighty character, who has a wound, and I don't know how he got that. I'm hoping it was from Bowman. It might have been from my Bowman. He charges a flank of my BSB's unit. So now, darn it, I mean, this guy can really kill stuff. So I'll probably have to sacrifice my Paladin, who's taken 1 wound already, sacrifice that Paladin to him. And after that, he's just going to be eating away at the unit, and I'm just hoping the time runs out in the game before he does too much damage. And he fluffs it. Look at that. Yeah, this is Warriors turn 5. We finally break both units. I couldn't catch either unit, but you never want to lose combat on your turn. He charged in, he bounced, and so on my next turn, I just have to charge both units and get easy points. Look at the top. My general could not kill the War Shrine, but he beat him just through combat res. I must have done a wound to his nun, and he broke, but I couldn't catch him. So we go to Bretonnia turn 5, I get the easy points in the middle. I decided not to charge the War Altar because we were running tight on time, and it just didn't matter. I was fairly sure that I had a 20-0 victory because whatever scenario card I played, I got, and you only need to be up by 1,500 points to get a 20-0 even without the scenario cards. And I've got almost this whole army, and the only points my opponent has got this game was for the Paladin that tripped in the woods. Everything else is alive. The pegs on the left that fled a charge, the next turn they didn't rally. They fled again. They were 1 inch from the side of the board, and on my next turn they rallied. Everybody else is over 25% and alive. So huge, huge win for the Bretonnians. I would love to take credit for a game brilliantly played. I think I don't know. I mean, as in most games, luck went both ways. I was certainly lucky to kill his general with a trebuchet. I should have broken the skull crushers a lot sooner than I did. Yada yada, whatever. I thought it was a lot of fun. I tried hard to keep him out of my my line of sight, to keep him within my line of sight. And the one time early in the game when I didn't, I think my opponent could have got behind there and really caused problems. But yeah, so this puts me at, the first game was a draw, so 10 points, and the second game I got 20 points. So that's an average of 15 points a game, which is precisely where I wanted to be. So I was very, very happy at where I'm at. I didn't need anything better than that. I like where it puts me on the tables, and yeah, I think we're looking good at the end of game 2. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has several functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like the video, you can leave a comment, you can favorite the video. I want you to know that I appreciate it when you do things like that. It feels much more interactive than simply me talking to a screen. So if you're willing to do so, please like, comment, and favorite the videos. Subscribe to the channel if you want, and you certainly are welcome to share this video on your blog or other websites if you are so inclined. Again, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.